Hello and welcome to another manga spotlight. Today I'm going to introduce you to a manga that is, without a doubt, the most beautifully unhinged thing I've read in a long while. The manga so gloriously over the top that it would have you wondering what the hell did I just read. It's called Killer Shark in Another World by Kuboken. So imagine, if you will, classical fantasy isekai. You got your plucky, kind-hearted young heroine. You got your magic school. You got a quest to defeat the Demon King. All those isekai cliches. Now take that entire setup, douse it in gasoline, light it on fire, throw a literal Sharknado at it. This is that manga. We open up on a scene of absolute carnage. A little girl named Shiromi is lying on the floor, drenched in blood. And standing over her is a giant shark, its maw dripping with gore. The craziest part? None of that blood is hers. You might be wondering, how the hell did we get here? Well, we flash back to meet our heroine, Shiromi. She's this upbeat, clumsy girl who wants nothing more than to defeat the Demon King. To be the hero. But in her village, she's a total joke. She's the kid who just can't get anything right. As I said before, she's clumsy. She's a bit of a laughingstock, the whole deal. One day, she manages to conjure a tiny, pathetic little ball of energy. And the entire village goes wild. They cheer. They call her the Chosen One, tell her to go forth and save the world from the Demon King. They parade her off to new beginnings, and as she happily skips into the sunset, waving goodbye, the horrible truth is revealed. That tiny little magic is the equivalent of tying your shoes. Everyone can do it. They weren't praising her. They were gaslighting her into leaving so they wouldn't have to deal with her anymore. It's brutal, and you immediately feel for this poor kid. And from there, she enrolls in the Manajinti Magic School, humanity's supposed last hope against the Demon King's army. It does not go well. During a lesson, she watches a documentary that gives us the lore. 10 years ago, demons rose from the dark sea and started slaughtering everyone. Standard stuff. But then the film abruptly cuts to footage of sharks. Just regular sharks from our world. No demonic sharks or anything. Just regular sharks chomping on surfers, scuba divers, attacking humans. Shiromi's just sitting there terrified and deeply confused. Why sharks? What's that about? What does this have to do with the Demon King? And this is your first clue that the logic in this world is very flexible. Soon it's time for the familiar summoning exam. This is it. The big moment. The other students summon cool fantasy stuff. Shiromi, she summons a flower. She gets mocked. She gets ridiculed, to the point where other students are about to use lethal magic on her. Yeah, they're about to kill this poor girl just because she can't summon a creature. Thankfully, her teacher Reagan shows up, and Reagan then just slaps Shiromi across the face and tells her, and I quote, "Lock in. This is your last chance." So Shiromi performs the ritual one more time. Her mind, for some reason, goes back to the shark attack videos, and in a puff of smoke, she doesn't summon a dragon or a knight. She summons a tiny, derpy, chibi-style shark that just flops on the floor like a fish out of water. And of course, the laughter starts up again. Teacher slaps her again and expels her on the spot. You wasted the school's time. You're useless. Get out. And everyone is pointing and laughing. And as that happens, the little shark disappears from the summoning circle. And then the student's head disappears from his shoulder, and a fountain of blood erupts from his neck. The cute little shark is now a blur of teeth and death. It's diving in and out of the solid stone floor like it's water, chomping one student after another. In a daze, Shiromi looks at her summoner's wand and sees the status. This creature's name is Same, and its level is 893. To put this into perspective, everyone else at this school are between levels 5 to 11. The school's prodigy being level 23. And this floppy little shark is level 893. So the remaining students try to fight back, and in response, Same transforms. He becomes a gigantic 3-headed shark with octopus tentacles. And he then proceeds to perform a classroom-wide extinction event. It's a bloodbath, an absolute slaughter. And that's how we circle back to our opening scene. Shiromi lying on the floor, covered in the viscera of her classmates, just staring into the abyss. Naturally, her teacher banishes her, calling her the demon. So now Shiromi's on the run, sobbing and terrified, being chased by the cuddly looking WMD that just murdered an entire school. And that's your first chapter. From here, the series settles into a gloriously dark comedy formula. Shiromi, who is generally just this sweet girl who wants nothing more than to help people, stumbles into situations trying to be a hero. She'll save a group of adventurers from demons, and just as they're safe, one of them will call her a name, and chomp! Same kills them all. She'll save a village, but the destruction causes the villagers to turn on her. And swoosh! Sharknado. The village is gone. Shiromi is kind. She's innocent. She's just trying her best. And yet, she's trapped with the deadliest familiar imaginable. And every step she takes towards helping people ends with total carnage. You just can't help but feel pity for Shiromi. Her life is a constant cycle of trying to do good and accidentally unleashing a supernatural predator on anyone who looks at her funny. She's like a Final Fantasy white mage whose ultimate spell is just summoning a war crime. And that's what makes Sami such a brilliant character. He's got this like split personality. One moment he's this adorable chibi puppy shark, nuzzling Shiromi and acting like a goofy pet. The next, he's a Lovecraftian horror show, a three-headed sharktopus that exists only to kill. He cuddles her, he protects her, then he annihilates her enemies and sometimes innocent bystanders out of vengeance or just defense. It's wild. And the absolute best part is that this is a series that is completely self-aware. It knows how stupid and amazing its premise is, and it leans into the chaos with the force of a tidal wave. We're talking about cutesy pixies doing hardcore drugs. The narration drops more F-bombs than the Tarantino film. At one point, the text literally describes Same as a badass mother effer like Danny Trejo, and then it gives us a shot of Danny Trejo. And there's even a moment where Sami turns into a tornado of sharks, and the manga just slams you with a giant text that says, "Shark mother effing NATO, bitch." The tone is just this perfect blend of hilarious and horrifying. The gore is graphic, but it's so over the top that it loops back from being disturbing to being comedic. The art style mirrors this. It seamlessly shifts from a bright, whimsical fantasy aesthetic to something you'd see in Berserk. The contrast is jarring, but in a good way. It's part horror, part comedy, part gore, part absurdism. It's just a mashup that somehow works. And if you peel back all the blood and the flying shark fins, this is actually a surprisingly touching story about loneliness and the desperate need to be accepted. Shiromi just wants to be a hero. She wants to save everyone and make friends. And in return, she's hunted, she's betrayed, and she's laughed at. The world sees this girl with the deadliest pet in all of creation and only sees the monster. They never see the lonely, kind-hearted kid just trying her best. And that's what makes Same so fascinating. He's not just a killing machine, he's a metaphor. He's your ultimate best friend, your ride or die, your personal protector. But he's also the monster you unleash on the world whether you mean to or not. He clearly loves Shiromi. He's cuddly and affectionate with her. He'd kill for her in a heartbeat. But the tragic part is that he also kills because of her social anxiety, her clumsiness, a stray insult from a stranger, and she has absolutely no control over any of this. She's holding the leash on a force of nature that she never asked for. And the way people turn on her, it's just a real gut punch. She'll save an entire village, and because a few houses got wrecked in the process, they brand her a villain. She's judged solely on the bloody results and never her pure intentions. It's kind of heartbreaking just looking at how fickle people can be and how even in the fantasy world, no good deed ever goes unpunished. Or maybe I'm just looking way too much into this and this is just, a crazy comedic isekai. Because if you're looking for a deep philosophical deconstruction of the hero's journey, this is not it. But if you want a dumb, fun, violently hilarious ride that doesn't take itself seriously for a single second, then you owe it to yourself to read Killer Shark in Another World. It's a masterpiece of controlled chaos. A bloody shark-filled circus where the only rule is that the shark always wins. I'll drop a link in the description below so you can check it out for yourself. But I want to hear your thoughts. What do you think? Does this sound like you're kind of crazy? And if you had to summon like Same, what's the first thing you'd do? Thanks for watching the video this far. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you next time. Take care. Later. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, I still want to thank you for watching it this far, and I hope the next one is more to your liking. With that said, thank you once again, and I hope you guys and gals have a good one. Later.